Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies, bringing you another Middle Earth Monday. So obviously we did not have a Middle Earth video last week as we were smashing through all of Leviathan. My Leviathan set is now fully painted so I can get back to regularly scheduled content. So this week I actually have a Lord of the Rings video, an Age of Sigmar video, a 3D printing video, a 40k video, and a podcast out this week. So we're getting back to spreading it all out and trying to get everybody to have their piece of the pie. So without further ado, we're going to get into the Lord of the Rings segment of this week. In the last video, we finished off our Fellowship, which was our kind of starting point for Middle Earth Monday. I'm really happy to have that completed. And obviously, we did all the videos for Pelennor Fields as well. And I basically put out a bunch of feelers and videos and asked people what they would like to see next. And my suggestion was Pelennor Fields. And that seemed to get a lot of attention because I bet a lot of you guys have a copy of Pelennor Fields lying around in your backlog and you would like to get some paint on that. So I decided that I would go through in this current series of 5 or 6 videos. I'm going to show you guys how to paint each and every part of that box set. Now, obviously, Leviathan week was very tiring on me, so I'm going to try and take it a little bit easier this week so I can recover all of my strength and stamina and catch up on sleep and stuff like that. So I'm going to be kind to myself, and I'm going to start the Pelennor Fields box set off with an Army of the Dead miniature. Super quick, super effective way, but I think the results are really cool, and you can paint up the entire squad of these guys in like 2 or 3 hours, if that. So hopefully you guys will learn something from this and we can all get our Pelennor Fields box sets finished off in the next couple of weeks. Before I get into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my active patrons. Without you guys, my salary would not be paid and I would not be able to continue this crazy journey of bringing you guys as much awesome hobby content as possible. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, some of the benefits include an extra video every single week, so that's 52 extra videos a year, and access to a private Discord server. So if that's something that interests you, there's links to that below. Without further ado though, let's get in and get an Army of the Dead miniature painted up. And this is the Army of the Dead miniature I have chosen. If you're actually curious, back originally when this set was brought out, this guy was meant to represent the King of the Dead, but then they decided to actually bring out a metal version of him, so they swept that under the rug. So this is actually supposed to represent the army, the King of the Dead. All I did was build a model, which was putting him on his base because he's fully built already, and spraying him a bright color. It can be a bright gray, bright white, whatever you want it to be, but just be consistent across all the miniatures from the Army of the Dead range. After that, all I'm going to do is pick out the metallic part. If you see it in the movie, they are kind of just glowy green ghosts, but the metallic parts of them do stand out a little bit from the rest of the etherealness of them. So all I did was grab a simple Leadbelcher and paint all of the chainmail and the sword with Leadbelcher. That's it. After this, I made a mistake, which was the Briar Queen Chill. As I looked at the ones they did on the back of the box and some of the things, I thought it was going to be this color. So I got to about this point and decided, nope, do not like this, not the tone I want at all. So I just watered on my brush and wiped it off. I actually did this with 2 or 3 colors until I finally landed on Biel-Tan Green shade, which is what I used to do them back in the day, but I thought there might have been a newer contrast version that would do a better job, but I was wrong. Just use Biel-Tan Gray, and then all you're going to do is apply this across the entire miniature. All the metallics and all the robes, face, hands, skin, all of it. It's going to give you a really beautiful kind of glowing ghost effect. This may be the easiest army to paint in all of Warhammer, in all of wargaming. This might be it. You don't even have to, if you really don't want to, do the silver part. When I painted my first Army of the Dead army back in the day for the shop, I used to work in Games Workshop and we literally had to put them on display. I just sprayed them white and gave them the Biel-Tan Green wash. I didn't do the metallic part. And they looked absolutely fantastic back then. But I just wanted to add that little extra step in now. But yeah, you could leave it out and literally it could be a spray white, apply shade, base miniature, done. Beautiful Army of the Dead force in 10 minutes, if that. It's kind of crazy how quickly you can paint some forces. So as you can see, I'm being quite careful not to have any of it pool. And this is it after the green is applied to the entire miniature. So from here, all I did was add some of the AK Interactive textured brown paste and waited for both things to dry, the shade and that. After that, I grabbed some Rise of Rust and I dry brush that over the brown earth. A lot of people ask me why I use orange in my basing material kind of dry brush stages, but I think it just adds a little speck of color. It gives it that kind of muck, that earthy tone, and it doesn't get left like this. And as you can see, the orange over the brown, it's not gaudy, it's not jumping in and screaming at you. It doesn't look like lava or anything like that. It just looks like rich earth. And just to dull it back down a little bit, I go in with a Screaming Skull or any bone or ivory color, and we give it a very light dry brush over the earth again. This once again helps to tie all the colors in. This is the stage I wish I could have done on all of the Fellowship miniatures as I was painting them, because sometimes the paint jobs on the Lord of the Rings miniatures aren't fantastic because they're quite simple models, but the base really elevates up the level. Abaddon Black was very carefully painted around the rim, 2 thin coats to get a nice smooth base rim for the miniature. This is supposed to be the plinth, and the miniature kind of starts from on top of it, so I always looked at it. So that's why I just do black base rims. No Goblin Green for me, thank you very much. I was being quite careful. If I was doing, say, 20 of these guys in one go, it might not be as careful. I just grabbed some random tufts out of my box of tufts. I'm not 100% sure of the company that sent me these ones, so I'm sorry. But they're beautiful. They're really thin and short, so it works well for like grass, and then some nice orange flowers. What I usually do to attach tufts is I squirt out some super glue onto my palette. Then I grab the tuft with the tweezers and then dip the ends into the super glue. I don't just trust the adhesive on the flux. I want this flocking to last forever. And sometimes like the grass can fall off if you don't add a bit of super glue. It's a super quick and easy step. And with that, we have our finished Army of the Dead miniature. I don't know about you, but I think that is absolutely fantastic. It's a perfect gaming standard. I can't even imagine what else I would really do. You could, I suppose, go in and do a really light dry brush of white all over the model to sharpen up the edges, but why would you bother? I think it looks great, and I'm really happy to be finally starting my Pelennor Fields. Here's a couple of high-res images of what they will look like on a tabletop. I have to say, I'm quite pleased with them, and I hope you guys are as well. Well, I think the results speak for themselves. For a miniature which, after getting sprayed, only required a bit of silver paint and a shade and then a nice base, I think it looks fantastic. I think you know what I mean now by how quickly you could get all of these ghosts done. And I think that's a really important thing. If you're going to start a big project like Pelennor Fields, it's nice to get an easy win in there kind of fast. So if you crack open your box and get all kind of 15, 16 miniatures of the Army of the Dead painted up and done, that's a huge portion of the miniatures in that box set finished. And it's, you know, we're on the way. So I think that's the best way to start. So if you agree with me, put it in the comments below, or let me know how you think you're going to start your Pelennor Field as well in the comments below. Let me know what you want to see next week as the next video. Normally I kind of go good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. So with an Army of the Dead being done this week, it's more than likely that I'm going to do one of the evil models next week. So let me know which one of those you want to see, and I will get cracking on it. Make sure you give the video a like, subscribe to me if you're not already. It would mean the world if you took 2 seconds today and made sure that that subscribe button is thoroughly pressed. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. It does mean the world to me, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye-bye.